Last quick call. I want to address an aspect of the government bill which has caused great controversy over the last number of months, and is the issue of the deletion of the word woman from the bill. Right across the country, people were very angered that the government would consider doing this, and I think it shows that there's an increasing detachment of the Dáil bubble from the rest of ordinary people living in Ireland at the moment. Most people that I spoke to were horrified to think that for decades of women struggling, campaigning and fighting for equality, that the political elites in this country would, with a stroke of a pen, seek to delete references to women from legislation. And it's not an isolated action. The HSE produced documents which removed the word woman from information around cervical cancer recently, and they replaced it with people with the cervix. This language caused confusion amongst people who were in a very difficult health situation themselves. It was damaging in terms of clear messaging for cervical check, but it was also grossly insulting to many women to be called a person with a cervix. Women have a right to their identity, and identity is an extremely important issue for many, many people. And I can't understand how deleting or erasing the identity of millions of women from legislation, from the health service or even from schools could be dressed up as inclusivity. It is the opposite of inclusivity. And it is happening in the education system too. I spoke to a teacher recently who was attending an in-service day with the Department of Education, and the Department of Education reps told him that he shouldn't use the words mother and father in schools. The NCCA website offers advice to teachers on how to address pupils, and on that website there's a link to another website, and there's advice there given to teachers not to call to attention the class with the word boys and girls, because it will be seen as not inclusive, that in a classroom that would happen. So when did excluding identities such as woman, mother, father, boys and girls be seen to become inclusionary? The HSE has started to use the word chest feeding. When many people, ordinary people, citizens, see this, they are aghast. They honestly do not believe that this is the language that is being used by the political bubble and by the establishment in the state. They honestly don't believe it. I tell them, I show them, and they still can't believe it. It's an incredible thing. And during the summer, there was that famous Liveline show, I don't know if you saw it, Minister, that was held in June in relation to these issues. And, Liveline is one of those shows that actually allows real people access to the airwaves, because mostly we're listening to people who are in that bubble, who are either here or part of that media spectrum. And these were real people with an option for the first time to articulate their views on this issue, and they did so very respectfully. And yet it caused a significant backlash. And, a lot of women contacted me after that particular show, and they said, listen, it is foolish for the government to underestimate the depth of feeling that exists in relation to ordinary women having their identity deleted throughout the state system. The right to be called a woman or to be referred to as female is important to them. They are proud of the fact that they are women. They are proud of the fact that they are mothers and grandmothers. And the language of government, they feel, is choosing to dehumanise them at this moment in time. And it's incredible that, just that simple, show that few islands of a different perspective in our vast array of media elicited, again from the establishment, a big pushback as if it should not have happened. Those voices should not have been heard in our society, which is wrong. There is a big fear at the moment with regards many women feeling that the rights to single-sex space in prisons, toilets and changing rooms are under threat. The rights of women and children to safe spaces, they feel, is under threat as well. And don't get me wrong, we must protect all our citizens. All citizens of this republic are equal and to be valued. No one should be discriminated against in any way whatsoever. Everybody should be treated with respect. But this country currently is an outlier, even in Western society, in relation to our approach to gender dysphoria and to the trans community. The HSE currently are still sending children to Tavistock in England. Tavistock, which has obviously had that damning CAS report written about it, and where a large number of people are now suing Tavistock in relation to the damage that has been done to children in relation to that. We must make sure that we base our policy on science. Ideology cannot be allowed to trump the issue of science in this state. And I feel there's no doubt in a range of different areas now, ideology is trumping science on this. And here's the thing, there's been no consultation with people at all on these radical changes. There's been no debate. It's been highly undemocratic. And those who seek to actually engage feel that they're being hammered from on high and called all the names under the sun. When Graham Linehan from Father Ted fame was speaking in RTE primetime on these issues, Labour youth was at the gates of RTE protesting to say that
given great flexibility.
Sure, I'm nearly finished.
No, it's not. You have time. You have plenty of time. But just the relevance of it, I've given great flexibility to every TD.
Sure.
But this is beyond the relevance of what's in the bill or what should be put into.
To be honest, the bill came to most people's prominence and awareness due to the fact that the issue, the word woman, was to be deleted initially from the bill itself. So the bill comes with this provenance at this stage in most people's minds, if the truth is told. Just